Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Essential RC. Now, I'm always on the lookout for interesting second-hand models to add to my collection. This Concorde behind me came up for sale through a friend and I had to have it. I can't think of any other opportunity that I might have had or will have to acquire a Concorde. So just fantastic to have this. It needs a little bit of work, I think, to get it in the air, and we'll have a look at some of that in a moment. But just to explain that this was designed and built by a very famous aeromodeller by the name of GOLDS, who is not just a fantastic aeromodeller, but had a very interesting full-size flying career. He flew the English Electric Lightning apparently, and the Hawk Hunter, as well as many other fast jets and fixed wing aircraft. He was also a very accomplished aviation painter. If you do a search, you will find several pictures that he painted. So a very, very skilled gentleman, and I feel very privileged to have acquired this scratch-built Concorde that he flew, as I understand it, back in 2005, and it's been in storage, I think, since then. The only thing I've done with it so far is just give it a good clean and had a first look over it. It's 104 inches long, 44 inches wingspan, features 4 electric ducted fan units, and it also has the classic nose droop feature as well. So let's take a closer look at this amazing looking Concorde. So at 104 inches length, there's no way this model would transport in one piece in a regular van, a regular short wheelbase van, which is what I own. So fortunately, it's been designed to come apart. This forward nose fuselage section is attached at this point, and there's a screw in at the top and a screw in at the bottom, which I don't have in there at the moment, but there are some aligning pegs you can see. So if I put the nose section down, you can see it detaches like that, so it's much easier to get in your transport. So looking at the forward nose section, I've got it taped, the nose droop taped up at the moment, because it's not, the servo is not connected to the horn at the front, but this is what it does effectively. So it's nicely designed. You can see the servo in there, and you can see there's a horn at the front, so I've just not got the push rod connected up. But I really like how the screen at the front there slips over the visor, slips over the windscreen at the front. So I'm picturing when I come in for finals on landing, I'm going to be flying along like this, and then flick the switch on the transmitter and it will slowly go down like that. And then I go into high alpha to cause that braking effect using the classic wing shape on the Concorde and come in for a slow landing. Well, that's what I'm picturing will happen. But looks really, really good. Looking inside the fuselage, there you can see the steering mechanism, the servo for the nose wheel, which is retractable, obviously, and the retracts are air up, spring down, which is a great mechanism, because if you run out of air, then the landing gear will come down, and that's a scenario you don't want, where you run out of air in the system and your landing gear doesn't come down, so it will spring down automatically. There are 2 hatches, one on either wing, and this one, if I open it up, it says battery, I assume 1,4. Engines 1 and 4, I think that means. So if I open it up, there's a bit of space in here. Does a battery go in here? Not sure. There's not a connector in there. So we'll have to see if there are any connectors. And on this side, it says 2,3, again, engines 2 and 3, and it says air and SW, RX for receiver. So let's open this side. So I can see there's an air charge on the left. There's a on-off switch and a charge port. It says 6 volts. In red on the left it says 2x4 S2P, so it suggests to me this is it will run on 4 cells. On the sticker, the white sticker there, July 2005, and then it suggests what motors are in this. Mega 16 EDF 3S, Jez 70, I think that's Jetty 70 amp opto speed controllers. So the speed controllers are going to have we're going to have to provide separate power to the receiver, 6 volts I think for the servos. And then there are mini fans in this, and it says 12 pounds, I think that's the weight, and then 1640 watts, 136 watts per pound, I think that's saying there. And then there's some other wires in there. So lots of useful information there. I certainly know how many cells I've got to run this on now, 4S2P. And I know what volts the receiver system runs at, and a few other things. All good information. Okay, so turn the model upside down now. Get a better look at everything underneath. So you can see the very tiny wheels on the front landing gear. There was a big 6 volt NiCad in here. I've taken that out, but that's a huge lump of weight, and really I don't really want to be using NiCads to power the receiver system, so I've taken that out, and I'm intending to put a 2-cell lipo in here with an S-BEC to step it down to 6 volts for the receiver system. You see you've got some heat sinks on the speed controllers, it looks like here, and then this cover comes off, and you notice these scoops as well. He obviously thought that he needed to get as much air as possible inside the fuselage to cool down the batteries that are in here. So he's really thought through the cooling that he needs for the batteries, the lipos, which might get quite hot, which can be the case on EDF systems. So let's take off this cover. This is all a bit of a discovery as you go along with these types of models. So take that off. Receiver, small receiver, I'll replace that. It's a Spectrum AR500 DSM2. I'll put a DSMX receiver in here. Then we've got leads. I've seen these, but I've not used them before. I changed those to XT90s, but I'm guessing all the batteries went in here. You can see that and I'm not sure what they would have been. Would they have been lipos? But all these hooks in here, I'm guessing, are for rubber bands to hold those batteries in place. So I'll take this tray out and take all those hooks off and just use Velcro straps, I think. Then moving back, landing gear. So these are nice. I mean, these wouldn't have been commercially available, so he's created these from scratch. So nice and scale. You can see some of the balsa and ply inside, all done from scratch. I really do respect aero modelers who do this type of stuff. It's way beyond my skills and experience. Then we got the servos. So only three servos, obviously one for the rudder, but elevons, I think, would you call them elevons? Don't know why they're split, but obviously this model's been stored in a container for a while, so I'm intending to take these servos out and replace them with some high torque digitals. And then we got the intakes for the motors. So if you look up there I think these are Wemotech mini fans, 5 blades with Mega 16 3S motors. Okay, so I'm not sure how much thrust they're going to generate, but we're going to stick with that, and I'm going to do some thrust testing. And then just looking at the tail, again, the classic design of the Concorde and the rudder in British Airways scheme, which is lovely. So I think that's it really, this first look at this amazing Chris Golds Concorde, 104 inches long, 44-inch wingspan. Not sure where it's going to fly from. I've been advised that Chris flew it off a tarmac runway, and I'm not sure if this will fly off my local grass strip, although it is very nicely kept. But we'll do some thrust testing and then we'll take a decision after that. So a little bit of work to do to get this ready to fly for the first time. But thanks for tuning in for this Essential RC episode. Please subscribe if you haven't done already, and click the bell icon for future notifications of our uploads and live streams. But thanks for watching this one. See you next time.